Morning students, I am continuing the chapter. In the last class we have discussed to select the national government. Today we are discussing how this parliament members used to control, guide and inform the government. Explanation of this is the parliament while in section begins with the question hour. So in the parliament the section begins within question hour. The question hour is an important mechanism through which MPs can elect information. So here the MPs they used to elect the information about the working of the government. In what basis the government used to be working in this parliament. This is a very important way through which the parliament controls the executive. So in this way only the parliament used to control the executive policies. See, the government gets available feedback and it's kept on to toes of by the question asked by the MP. So here the government used to collect all the feedbacks about the whatever the question has been asked by the MPs. In addition, in all matters dealing with finances, the parliament approval is crucial for the government. This is one of the several way in which the parliament controls. So it is one of the several way in which the parliament used to control, guide and inform the government. The MP representatives of the people have a central role in controlling, guiding and informing parliament, and this is a key aspect of the functioning of the Indian democracy. So in this way it is a key functions of parliament is the key functions of the Indian democracy. Next, lawmaking. So here lawmaking is a significant functions of our parliament. Even here lawmaking is also a very important functions of the parliament. We will read brief in this point in the next chapter. So here now, who are the people in parliament? Again, one of the question has been arise that who are the people of parliament? Explanation. Parliament now has more and more people from different backgrounds. So in the parliament, the peoples are from different background. For example, they are more rural member as also member from many religious parties. So here the members mostly they are from rural areas. So here and members of from many regional parties. So the members are from different parties, groups and people that were till now unrepresented are beginning to get elected to parliament. So here these people they are unrepresented person and they had been elected in the parliament. There has also been an increase in political participation from the Dalit and background classes. Even in these political participation, the members are from Dalit as well as the backward classes. Let us look in the following table that does show the percentage of population who voted the Lok Sabha election in different years. So it was a table graph the different years. See, different population who voted Lok Sabha election in different year. The first year is started from 1951 to 52. In this, 61.16% of vote has been given. And in Lok Sabha vote, 1967, 61.33. Fifth Lok Sabha election, 1971, 55.29. Sixth Lok Sabha election 1977 60.49, 8th Lok Sabha election 1984 85 64.01%, 10th 1991 92 55.88, 14th Lok Sabha election 2004 57.98, 15th Lok Sabha election 2009 58.19 and so on. It has been observed that representative democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection of society. There is a realization that when interest and experience separate us, it is important to ensure the communities that have been historically marginalized are given adequate representation. With this in mind, some seats are reserved of parliament for SCs and STs. So here for this they have kept in the mind that the parliament has been reserved some of these seats for SC, STs and other background classes also. This has done so that the MPs elect from these constituencies will be the familiar and can be represent Dalit and Adivasis interested in parliament. So the seats has been reserved because they must be familiar and represent in Dalit, as well as they must show the interested in the parliament. Similarly, it has more recently been suggested that there should be reservation of seats for women. So after that, there have been some of the members, they have been given suggestion that some of the seats can also be reserved for the women. This issue is still being debated. 60 years ago, only 4% of MPs were women, and today it has just above 11%. So in 60 years ago, if we discuss, so there were only 4% of women in MP, but if we comparison for nowadays, they were 11%. This is a small share when you consider the fact that half of the populations are women. So it was and considered that the half of the population are for the women. It is the issue of this kind that forced the country to ask certain difficult and often unresolved questions about whether our democratic system is representative enough. So it has been again question has been asked. It is unresolved that the government can have the democratic system and question about whether our democratic system is representative enough. This fact that we can ask this question and are working towards answer in this reflection for the strength and the faith that the people of India. So it was the strength, faith that the people should have that the India is a democratic form of government. So at last, so we must have the faith, we must have the strength and power of the people, then only the India is a democratic form of government. Thank you.